Do you have ADHD and rejection sensitivity has been nothing but a plague in your life? Well, while this isn't the only video that I want you to watch, I've made an awesome video here that's going to teach you why RSD happens, what to do when you're feeling this way, and how to communicate with others to benefit us, but also let them know what's going on. For those that are new here, my name's Matt. I'm a keynote speaker and educator just trying to teach people the whys and hows of their wonderful brains. Now, without further ado, welcome to ADHD and Rejection Sensitive Dysphoria. Let's talk about it. Category 1, why RSD happens. Rejection Sensitive Dysphoria, or RSD, sucks. It does. And I am genuinely sorry that so many of us go through this. RSD is considered a trait or symptom that arises amongst people with neurodevelopmental disorders, especially those with ADHD. The reason why this happens is when a person is surrounded by contradicting or rejection-based comments consistently, the brain slowly develops this lack of ability to actually think these things through. And it jumps immediately into processing them in a rather consistent way. Simply put, our brain is essentially sick of hearing one more negative comment, so it tends to actually process those negative comments as if they're all the worst comment because it knows that that's a possible outcome. So why do neurodiverse people get this primarily? Well, while the studies are always evolving, what the studies are showing us right now is that people with neurodevelopmental disorders hear negative thoughts and comments at 4 times the amount of the average neurotypical brain. We grow up hearing things like, don't do that, do it my way, you're doing it wrong, you're weird, why are you staring, why aren't you making eye contact? Unsurprisingly, that has a big impact on our brains, and honestly, I kind of get it. Why we don't want to hear one more negative thing. I've heard them my whole life. But instead of becoming angry, like maybe I might feel right now, the reality is that we actually become weak to it. It's not okay. And it's left a lot of us in really weak places where we just can't show our confident selves to others anymore. Category number 2, what to do when we're feeling this way. Well, I think to teach you this stuff properly, I need to give you guys a personal experience that happened to me when I was younger, and it vastly affected me. I have been telling this story in front of audiences for literally years now, and it affects a lot of people, so bear with me and pay attention. This might really help. When I was in high school, texting was still becoming popular, and forms of communication were different back then. Because of which, one of the best ways that you can tell somebody that you're sick of them or that you're angry at them is instead of the generic text, which is the, hey, why, smiley face, 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 you say hi. Period. Oh, the period is the heebiest of the jeebies. Don't. Back then, nobody used grammar unless it was to either get a huge point across, which you're excited about, or if you're pissed. That's right, kids. Before we had autocorrect, we had to put our own periods, so we only used them for self-inflicting reasons. Unfortunately, though, not everybody used grammar as contradictory ways of making me spiral into the depths of despair. And you know what? From an RSD standpoint, it got confusing. So, scenario. I text somebody that I want to talk to and I say, hey, why, smiley face, 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 as one does. And they respond with, hi. So all of a sudden, my heart drops out of my booty, and I feel very rejection sensitive. Now I'm starting to second guess my entire relationship with this person, wondering if they finally figured out the terrible person that I see myself as, and they probably see me as it too, and it's not okay. My thoughts start going through it. Did they say hi because they just had their hands full and they were a little bit busy and they didn't want to be rude and just not say anything? Or did they find out about the time that I used their toothbrush back in the 3rd grade and I watched them use it like as if I don't have a gross mouth? Or did they finally realize that I'm gross and weird and funny looking and not cool and they only want to be friends with cool people and I'm not cool, so that means they don't want to be friends with me anymore? Or did they just hate me because I would if I were them and I think you get the picture. So now we finally get to the question, what do I do when I feel this way? Well, if you notice the pattern here, all the negative thoughts were actually not made by the person, they were made by me and my overthinking, very fast brain. And these things have just simply been light speeding me into a negative headspace. All my negative thoughts were not based around what was said, but more so about what I felt when a negative form of communication was used in my mind, which led me to spiral. So here's how we combat this. We need to understand that the cure to RSD is follow through and communication. Don't let those words scare you, give me a minute. RSD tends to put us into a thought process as opposed to processing what thoughts we should be thinking about. So imagine this. What if I followed my very next text up and I said, hey, this might seem a little bit strange, but I'm feeling a little bit sensitive right now. So can I ask you what you meant by your hi with a period? Are you mad at me, or was it just a simple response? The interesting part is now I've set them up to give me one of two types of answers. The first one being, no, I'm not mad, that's just how I text people. Or number two, you're darn right I'm mad, I haven't heard from you in like a week. The interesting part is that neither of these thoughts were anywhere near as bad as I kind of thought they could be. You know, whether they are mad at us or not, a lot of the times our rejection sensitivity takes us a lot further. So by finding out the answer, it actually resolves a lot of the insecurities that we were feeling in our minds. So, long story short, combating RSD is all based around following through with the conversation to make sure that we understand if we should be sensitive or not based on the factual evidence that somebody is communicating back to us after we communicate to them the first time. Category number 3, how to communicate with others to let them know what's going on in our heads. This is obviously a lot more simple of a description than the other two categories, so bear with me a little bit longer and then we can stop looking at my face so much. So, let's get the obvious and blunt fact out of the way first. Communicating to somebody that we get a little bit sensitive at times, so we might ask them to follow up, is not weakness. In fact, this is actually a form of strength. You know your flaws, so you know exactly what to ask for. And if anybody has a problem with something like that, please understand from the bottom of my heart, and everybody else around you should truly understand, that's on them. Now, that being said, let's make sure that while communicating this to somebody, we are not warning them that we have rejection sensitivity, which means that you cannot make me feel rejected and yada yada yada. Just a heads up, your feelings are valid. I just want us to be strong when having conversations that are based around something that's going on with us. Let's understand that this is truly our issue and we need to communicate it that way. Due to the way that I grew up, I can get a little bit sensitive at times, and if I don't follow up and ask the intention behind them, I can start to shut down. Can I ask you to understand that I might ask you to explain some things every so often? It'll help me a lot, and I'd really appreciate it. This leads the conversation to be more open, and this is going to lead us to becoming more trusting. Whether this is a partner, a friend, a family member, no matter who it may be, this is going to leave us to lower our guard just a little bit more and be a part of the conversation. Remember, this is possible. You are not broken. You're simply different, and if you work on these things, it can change your life vastly. I believe in you. Have an amazing day. Well, that's it for this video. If you feel that this video has added any bit towards your journey through ADHD, then please give me the ultimate compliment by liking, commenting, and subscribing for more. My goal and mission in all of this is to truly impact the world in a positive way with my unique form of educating. And it all starts with showing these social platforms that I'm somebody worth listening to. Thank you so much for letting me teach you something new, and thank you even more for allowing me to be your ADHD guy. Now go drink some water and get confident, dang it, you're worth it. Well, this isn't the only video that I want you to watch. I think I've made an awesome video. Man. Well, I think I've made an awesome video. I did that way too fast. I've made an awesome... Now, without further ado, welcome to ADHD and Rejection Sensitivity Dysphoria. Nope, it's not that one, it's sensitive. I won't do this often. RSD is created RSD is created... why do I keep saying that? RSD is RSD is considered a trait of, simply put, it treats it like as if it had, well, while this, yeah, I guess. Well, so all of a sudden, after reading that high, my heart drops out of my booty, and I just instantly Or did they finally realize that I'm gross and weird and funny looking and not cool, and they all of a sudden, Or did they finally realize that I'm gross and weird and funny looking and not cool, and they only want to be friends with cool people, and I'm just not cool, so why don't they, now they just don't want to be friends? Or did they finally realize that I'm gross and weird and... that sucked. And these things just have been straight up sending me light speed. What is it? Actually, what was... all my negative thoughts were not actually based around what was said, but it was actually... Now, that being said, let's make sure that we are not communicating with people that we are warning. Now, that being said, let's make sure that we are not warning somebody that we have rejection sensitivity so they can't be One more time. If you feel that this video... Wait a second, that's right. Normally I do the other part first and then I do the now go drink some water. I'm still not over it. Don't ever say hi to me. Don't do that. It's uncomfortable.